No.
I am. Maybe.
Yes, we're live.
Perfect. Sweet. All right. Well, this time, I think. Don't know if anyone's actually joined yet. Yeah, no one.
Hey, Luke,
Yes.
make your screen full screen so it doesn't show, like,
Oh.
the sidebar on your Discord.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that is a good idea. Where is?
Looks like
There we go.
I've joined.
I'm in. I just commented. So.
So the problem
I guess I'm
is.
technically
Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna have to be that because I have to access other pages. So it's gonna they're gonna see the sidebar, unfortunately.
You can go pop out. Like if you click the pop out, it'll adjust so then you can move the videos wherever you want them to be. And put it side by side with Roll20 if you want.
Like right next to the full screen button.
Oh.
It should be in the
There we
bottom
go.
right corner. Yeah, there you go.
Perfect. Thank you. I just don't know what I'm doing.
It's a great thing for your DM to say at the beginning of a session.
Yeah. Oh shoot! But now it's.
I don't know what I'm doing.
That's every DM.
Problem is, if I do that, OBS doesn't record it.
Well, that's weird.
So you move the Discord client out of the way.
Hang on.
I see what you mean now on the stream.
Hello, folks. Welcome to our D&D stream.
Yeah, we're doing
Figure
great.
out Discord and not do anything D&D related.
What do you minimize that?
In breaking news, I have the stickers on my water bottle.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Well, let's see. Hang on.
If it's going to take a while, maybe we should just deal with it, and we'll figure it out when we're not recording.
Okay. Boom. Got it working. Did things. Sweet. That's what I want. Things to work. All right.
I'm
Sweet.
getting a black screen. Oh, there we go. It was black.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Perfect. Well, things are working out then. We'll go ahead and start up. Welcome to those of you who have joined us so far. I apologize for the chaos of me figuring out what I'm doing. I am Luke Kimbrough. I am your dungeon master for the night. And here we have all of the wonderful players. We'll go ahead and start. Anna, why don't you go first since you're my wife?
Okay. I'm Anna. I'm playing Lyra, a Tiefling bard. And fun fact about Lyra is that when she was okay, let me start here. Lyra has never gotten drunk. And the reason that Lyra has never gotten drunk is because when she was young, someone referred to alcohol as spirits, and young Lyra interpreted that to mean that there was like ghosts in alcohol, and that when you got drunk, it meant that you had been possessed by the spirit. And that fear stayed with her for the rest of her life. So yeah, never been drunk. Stays away from alcohol.
Oh, so good. All right. How about Mel? You go next. We'll just do this randomly.
Okay. I'm Mel, and I'm playing Skud, a Goblin Monk. And fun fact about Skud is he is terrified of kittens.
Perfect. Luke, why don't you go next?
Absolutely. Hi, I'm Luke. I'm playing Tyler Trueshot. And fun fact about Tyler, I'm just going to describe for you Tyler's home. He comes from a little town called Rangeton, and he lives in a little cabin out in the woods, a little log cabin. And if you open the door, what you will see is it is a single room cabin, quite small, with a large bed in the center taking up most of the floor space. And all the walls are filled with like a tacky, scary amount of like animal heads that are mounted. So just picture like small room, bed, and then animal heads. So many animal heads. And that is his home.
Oh, that's good. All right, Deanna, you go next.
Deanna, I'm playing Isira, who likes to be called Is. She's a wood elf rogue. And her totally new fun fact for this session is that she really loves good berry jam.
Oh, that's great. All right. Roxanne, why don't you go next?
I'm Roxanne. I play Storm, who is a Centaur, and she's a fighter sorcerer. And Storm is really into old maps, studying and making her own.
Nice. All right, and finally, last but not least, AJ.
Hi, I'm AJ. I'm playing Dolf Fitzgerald, who is a halfling with the mark of hospitality. He is a cleric, and he's been trying to get into whistling lately. Has not been going well. Has not been going well whatsoever.
I love it. Perfect. Well, that is all the players for tonight. And so we'll just go ahead and dive right in with a recap as to what happened last time and how everyone got to where they are now. So last time, what happened is all these fine people were hired to be bodyguards for a noble family, along with one of their personal bodyguards / butler, Kana, was a minotaur. They were traveling through the Great Tonbar Tundra, going towards the country of Hashland, and they were assailed by tundra Dawiks, small creatures that travel in large packs and that eat flesh wherever they can get it. One of the noble members of the noble family was taken, and they quickly made chase and found a cave. Well, fell into a cave where they had to go through a series of puzzles and tricks until eventually they came to a large open cavern where these Dawiks were worshipping the duck lord, Lord Quackers, the god of fowl, the god of waterfowl, I should specify. And after some conversation, they swayed him to come join them, or they joined him, but they went off, and they are now. Lord Quackers is now their patron, so they are all priests to this duck god. So, with that, we pick up with our 6 heroes inside of a temple dedicated to Lord Quackers, god of the waterfowl. Skud, Storm, Tyler, Is, Dolf, and Lyra, you have all assisted Lord Quackers in acquiring a temple dedicated to him in a city called Nosterhaver, in a country of Hashland, and have become his fowl priests. Fowl in the waterfowl sense, not in the bad sense. It's been about 4 months since you all met Lord Quacker, so it hasn't been too long, but still a good amount of time. And for the most part, life has been good serving Lord Quackers, and have become, and it's, speaking. But times have been hard lately, as not many people have wanted to become followers of the Fowl Lord. Again, fowl in the waterfowl sense, not in the bad sense. And not many people are willing to follow a sentient duck. So at this moment, where you all are at right now is inside of a temple, well, the temple, where along with you there's a couple of older folks that have walked in accidentally and don't realize they're visiting the wrong temple, along with a dyslexic cultist who thinks this is the fowl temple in the bad sense, not the waterfowl sense. And at this moment, that cultist comes up to Skud and asks, well, really it just says, I'm here for the cult stuff. I believe this is the right place, but I don't remember a duck being mentioned that at the temple I was supposed to go to.
You've got the wrong place, guy.
Oh, crap. Well, can you point me to the right place? I don't know if you know. They didn't tell me the name of the temple. They just said, find the cult place. It'll be the Fowl Temple.
Oh, no, this is the Fowl Temple.
Well, no, fowl as in the bad sense, not the waterfowl sense, I suppose. Since do you worship a duck?
Yeah, you should
Absolutely.
too.
The real
Yeah,
duck
you should
is
donate a
what-
lot of money to this. This
He's the
will
best.
change your life. We've got this tiered system in place, and you should be at the highest level with us.
There's perks
Yeah,
for each level.
there's lots of bread too. We eat lots of bread.
With jam.
You can't be part of this school. I'm really sorry.
Do you sacrifice people for unimaginable power?
Will that get you to give us money?
I wasn't really told there would be a monetary requirement to join a cult. You know what? I'm just gonna go. Thank you, but I'm just gonna leave. Bye. And he walks away and leaves. He looked very
I don't
disappointed.
understand of why this business plan is not working at all. Like,
Yeah,
I
we
can't
have the
see
tiers in
flaw.
place. Like, it's a pyramid. We got it going.
I
This
see
always
no
happens.
flaw in this.
Perhaps we should work on our sales.
Is it the
Yeah.
gluten? Is it the gluten? We can
Maybe
take
it
the
is the
gluten out.
gluten. Yeah, if we put the option down, we should have pulled before we started here. We should have pulled the people to see.
My jam is gluten free. That's an option.
I mean, that's a start.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we should wait. Can we make your jam and sell it? Like, can we sell your jam?
We have lots of jars.
Big sale, big sale, big sale, big sale.
Because Dolf can make the berries. I
Again,
do know my wife's jam recipe. We're gonna need lots of jam.
Oh, man. Well,
Where
at
are
this
the
point,
crackers?
you all hear a sound you haven't heard in a while. The clinking of coins hitting the stones in front of the large carved statue of Lord Quacker's that you had carved out when you found this temple and are renting it. And you see a very old halfling woman with a shawl, and she's dropping about 6 gold pieces at the base of this statue. She says a short prayer and then leaves, along with her old husband who is waiting at the door. Who he seemed very confused. The halfling lady did not appear to really realize where she was.
Well, before she leaves, when I see this happening, I'm gonna cast thaumaturgy on the altar, and this like glorious sound of like comes up, like her gold has been well received.
She seems a little scared at first, but then she smiles a little bit and she's just kind of nods and bows again to the statue and then continues to head to the door.
Okay. Positive reinforcement, folks.
So, at this point, the temple is empty, except for you all. So, what do you do?
So about this bake sale.
Yeah, like we could set up a little stall in front of the temple. How big is our temple?
It's a good-sized temple. I mean, it's basically you have the one large entrance where you've got some chairs and some altars set up along the sides. It's about like a 30 like width, 50-foot length room, and there's some, and underneath it there's like basically rooms where you all sleep, and it's sizable enough. You don't have a whole lot of room for more people to really join you as priests, but at least come and join as like, worshippers. So
And where is Lord Quackers? Is he just often?
yeah, right now you don't really know.
Okay.
I'm gonna sneak over to the altar and try and take a coin without anyone looking.
All right, roll stealth.
Ah, crit fails. Wait. But that's an 11 with my modifier.
Well, I guess everyone else roll perception.
You have a +10 to stealth?
It's my expertise.
I got an 11 with perception.
I got 15.
19.
I got a 22.
I just have like one finger in the.
Well, basically, everyone else except for I think because since Anna, you're trying to beat her. Since you tied, it counts as beating. So basically, everyone sees you trying to take what gold
How
from
much
this.
is it?
There's only 6 gold pieces in front, which is a pretty measly sum at this point.
I'm playing cool. I try to go like, look, there's 6 gold everywhere.
I take the coins and I put it in the offering box.
Perfect. Well, after all this has gone over and y'all have been talking for a bit, and you're finally glad you've gotten an offering of some kind. You all feel a presence enter into the temple, and walking through the front entrance of the empty temple, the one you all serve, Lord Quackers, has come back to his temple. He says,
Storm is going to kneel in front of Lord Quacker.
perfect. Do anyone else do anything?
I present to
Tyler Trueshot has been standing silently in the corner, essentially as like the human bread box. Like I'm just holding so much bread, and I just kind of silently stand there. And I look really bored. I'm just kind of accepted that this is kind of my role as like I'm the bread guy. And like, and I think maybe I even like, maybe even have a faint sense of regret with what my life has become. And so I continue to stand there with armfuls of bread.
I'm gonna tell Tyler. We talked about this. You don't have to hold it the whole time. There's a basket. You can put it in the basket.
But someone needs to be ready to feed quackers at all times. Quackers must be served, and so this is my job is serving bread. Always.
I know you're not the best with animals, and you have a rough history with them, or they have a rough history with you, rather. But I think that he is capable of feeding himself. He is a god.
After all this happens, Skud takes the bread that he's eating and is like, "See," and hands it to Lord Quacker's, half-eaten bread.
Well, Lord Quackers does. As you're all doing this and you hand him bread, he says, "Ah, yes! Hello, my foul priests. Foul in the waterfowl sense, not in the bad sense. Thank you for this delicious bread. Yes! Have you gotten more followers for me so that my power can rise above the power of the chicken god that cast me down to this small planet?"
So not exactly, but we did get an offering.
Oh, did someone donate at
And we
least
have an idea.
some thousands upon thousands of gold and silver that I can use it to buy and purchase all that I might need to fight against the chicken god?
No,
Six.
but you know how you like nuclear jam.
I do enjoy jam, but was it not thousands of gold?
I think we picked a poor town, and it might be gluten-free. We might need to relocate.
Well, you need to pay rent here. How much was it?
6.
He looks very downtrodden for a duck, and it's very hard to read his face because again it's a duck. He doesn't have very much expression, but he seems very disappointed and very sad, because you all have known that it's coming close to time where you have to pay your rent on the temple, and you need a lot of money at this point. I mean, you need about 10,000 gold pieces to pay your rent.
Why do we pick such an expensive place?
So, and so you're all starting to feel a little bit of this stress, and so you can understand why Lord Quackers is not exactly super excited. And I mean, even though you're a temple, you don't get a tax break on that. So,
So, Lord Quackers.
Yes.
We have 2 ideas. Well, we have one idea, and I just thought of another idea. It requires more work, but there's 2 ways we can go about this. We can bake sale, or we can get jobs. But we're really leaning towards the bake sale.
Well, who of you knows how to cook?
I make jam.
I can light a fire.
We do got the jam down. I can magically create food, and then just do a little magic sprinkle of prestidigitation on it to get some flavor.
I'm pretty good at alchemy. We could maybe do something with that.
I've got nothing.
I can hunt for meat if we want to make baked meat. If it pleases Lord Quackers.
I do not know. I am surprised at how difficult it is in this city to acquire funds and followers. I suppose it makes sense, as many people are already serving other higher powers, none higher than myself, of course, but it is strange they do not all flock to me. Nah, get it? Because I am the god of the waterfowl, and I have a flock.
I have an idea.
You didn't laugh at my joke.
I laughed.
On the inside.
Give him a little wink.
I have an idea.
Let's hear it.
So you're new to this world, and many of the gods that others worship have a history, right? They're legendary, and your legend hasn't quite made it to this area yet. So maybe we need to, like, I don't want to say lie, but like, I'm a performer, so like stage some things so that people see your majesty. Like, you know, like show them how great you are. Like a display of power or something like that.
I am
embellishing a story.
I am the god of waterfowl. Ducks are the most ancient beings that have existed beyond eons before time. There's no god or creature that is older than ducks. I was the first.
Well,
They should know of my power and my majesty. My legend is that there are millions of ducks and geese and many waterfowl in the world. How would they not know my legend?
So what I'm gathering from this conversation is that your power comes from being able to procreate.
Perhaps.
We need to capture
We're on
more
to something here.
ducks.
Do we need to like fill
What
the
if-
city with ducks? Do you need a female duck?
I know how to catch ducks.
Yes.
There is a sad shortage of other ducks in this town, but no, that is not what I need. I need followers, and we need to pay rent. Maybe perhaps the other temples will be so kind. I mean, there are literally hundreds of temples around us, so perhaps one of them will be kind enough to let us have some of their money. And with the mention of hundreds of temples around you, he is right, because the temple of the duck god is nestled between two other temples, which are between two more, and more beyond that. You are literally in the section of the city. The only section of the city you were able to find a temple is, it's called the God's Way. It is the spiritual and religious center of the city, and all the temples in the city are located in this one area. So it's makes sense that you're able to find a temple here, but there's so many others. So
idea. We get the prince and princess to endorse us.
That's
I'm
right.
listening.
We did bring that couple whose names I'm forgetting. We saved their lives, and that was how we found you. So like, they should endorse you because you were part of returning the wife to her beloved husband. So they should be our sponsors.
And that will for sure get the word out.
We did leave that couple some miles back. I think we went through a few cities before we found this one, did we not? And you did. You actually passed through multiple cities, and I'll actually show y'all where y'all are basically located in the world right now. But I'll go ahead and start sharing my screen. That's a good idea. Boom. Can you all see it all right?
Yes.
Perfect. Let's pop it up so it's bigger. There we go. So, this is the town y'all are in, Nosterhaver. Should probably actually, you know what? Let's just do live stream my email. That's fun. Perfect. Loading. So this is the city you're in, and y'all are located in the God's Way, which is right here. Ooh, stop. Which is number 3 section here, is where y'all are located. But, well, this is awkward. Why is it taking forever to load? But, anyways. So, you're basically like a few hundred miles away from the edge of the country of Hashland, where you're at. Because you were taking the noble family to Foxmorestone, which was like right at the border from the country y'all came from to Hashland. And you all left them there 4 months ago. So they're not with y'all. They're long gone. They've gone back home. So
I think we should take over the baker's court. For our bake sale.
Might be onto something.
down here.
Looks like a small area. We can take them. They're monopolizing our market.
Does sound exciting.
She has a point. If we're the only ones with bread and jam, they're going to have to buy from us.
Yeah, exactly. It's supply and demand.
You're not wrong.
While all this is going on, Skud is like drawing jam and bread on a piece of paper. Or attempting to.
Oh my gosh. Well, I suppose we could
Making
try that.
flyers.
Why don't you all go out and bring some disciples to me? Maybe do some evangelize in my name. I'm going to take some time to meditate. But please, I will think on your ideas. I like the idea of somehow winning over the favor of the royalty of this city. That would be ideal. But for now, I shall rest. Please go and find ways to make money and bring me followers. And he walks off, and he kind of just like dissipates as he like molds into the statue almost. Like that's where he's chilling. So y'all are now again in a empty temple. What do you do?
Take out a familiar looking flask that I have filled with jam, and I just like drink jam. And I look at everyone like, where do we start?
That can't be
Well,
good
not
for
in
you.
here. Out of the temple. Let's go find those people and get that money. Am I right? Okay. And I start marching
Tyler,
towards
set the
the
bread.
front door.
Tyler, put the bread down.
Yes, okay. Tyler puts the bread in the basket, turns around, and then goes outside.
Yeah, I have this image of him like trying to go through the door, but the bread's too long. And he's like, it won't work.
Just these massive baguettes that have not really been touched except for, little bits picked off that have been fed to
They're like
quackers.
super crusty.
Oh gosh. All right, so Tyler walks out the door. Who's following?
I'll follow.
Well,
All right.
Yeah, we can walk and talk. Let's walk and talk.
Are we all gonna leave? Like, or should someone stay here to?
I mean, Lord Quackers is here, and when he is here, the temple is safe.
Okay.
But you also all can still decide to go your separate ways. Again, due to y'all becoming patrons of Lord Quackers, you all now have telepathic communication to each other from any amount of distance, as long as there's no sort of magical interference that would disrupt that somehow. You can all speak to each other from anywhere, anytime, telepathically. So. Good.
Well, I for one think that earning the favor of royalty seems like a great idea, and I would like to gain counsel with said royalty of Nosterhager. So, does anyone know where to go to find them?
I think
it would be pretty.
Tyler.
Guilty.
It would be pretty solid if we just, did some major heroic thing in the name of Lord Quackers for the kingdom, and then be
heroic.
And then we're like, hey, it was all Lord Quack. We couldn't have done this without Lord Quackers.
Right. Yes. But what?
I mean, I guess the first thing we need to do is look at job postings, I guess. And look for the most dangerous mission.
Yes, I like that idea.
I suppose that would
the dangerous part.
Be in the center of town.
No rich people.
Rich people once we complete the quest.
It would be best if the quest involved the rich people.
Yes, the one with the highest reward.
I'm the highest bidder.
And if that doesn't work out, we can always raid Baker's Square.
Yeah, or we could kidnap one of the rich people and then save them from being kidnapped.
I think that is a great plan C.
We'll put that in the backdrafts.
I think.
Yes, that's a little anti-hero.
She's not a point, though.
I think
if no one needs help, then we help them need help, and then we help them have help.
Yeah, no, that works. If
Makes
there's
sense.
no, we will create the chaos necessary to solve the chaos.
Right, exactly.
We will
I
be
see no
the
problem
chaos.
with this plan.
Storm is going to start walking towards the center of town, because that's where she is assuming there's likely to be a tavern with a job posting situation.
All right. So you're heading towards the old quarter then.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's the dead center of town. Who all's going with Storm?
Scud runs up behind Storm and jumps on her back.
Storm stops dead in her tracks. Turns around and goes, "You could at least ask first, Scud. You know I'd say yes."
I was just too excited.
And then continues on her way.
I will go with them.
I will follow.
Yep.
Alas.
All right. So,
Whistling going.
so Dolf and are y'all doing something else? Are y'all going with them, or are y'all doing something else?
Yeah, I follow last.
Yeah, I'm gonna go along.
All right, perfect. All right, so you're all together. That makes things easy. And also, retcon on how much y'all owe for the temple. It's only 600 a month. There was a typo earlier. It's only 600 gold pieces.
All right, cool.
Thank God.
I
How much?
mean, we could still get 10,000 from somewhere.
How much gold did we get for completing the mission last time?
You got a good significant amount. You got about, overall it was about 2,000 gold pieces. But you spent all of it to acquire the temple in the first place.
Okay.
So the making the down payment, in the initial over the months you've run out of money due to paying rent for the temple.
Okay.
So
Those 6 gold are all our gold, right?
yes. All right.
We've been eating a lot of bread.
Bread is very cheap to make, thankfully. So, as you walk out into the street, you are it's a nice day. It's sunny, a little cloudy, but it's pretty warm. It's it's starting to be summer. It's like right in the middle of summer, really. It's in full swing. It's nice. All the temples are busy. There's a few that seem to be kind of in hard ways, just like y'all are. Over the time y'all have been here, you've seen a lot of turnover. A lot of temples come and a lot leave. It's just some people aren't able to pay that rent. So it's a very fickle system. But you do also see some of the nicer ones down closer to the entrance to the God's Way. They're these much larger, more grandiose temples that have many followers and are constantly receiving money and goods and are very financially stable. And these are, and one of those temples is dedicated to the chicken god. And so you all are very sort of upset and kind of it's constant reminder of just like why is that one doing so well? It's a bitter reminder of how little y'all have to offer Lord Quackers. Even though he has provided you all with significant abilities and power. And also, just almost a family in a way, as he's, because of your adventures together and finding him, he's brought you all together. But again, it's just a sore thing to see, this temple to the chicken god.
As we walk past the chicken god's temple, Storm's going to kind of quietly say to Skud, "Why don't we just kill our landlord?"
I was thinking the same thing.
I mean, the other small temples would be a fan of that.
What's y'all's alignment again?
Ace is in on this.
Just chaotic. Just very
chaotic.
Chaotic. Chaotic. Good.
I was just like,
chaotic.
one day we're probably gonna have to send. We should probably send a spy. I mean, a good faithful hand over to the chicken god's temple just to see what are they doing that we're not doing.
Yeah, man, it would be
I mean,
such a
very
shame if
close.
it caught on fire.
Not that far.
I'm really craving some fried chicken.
But you see, if there's no chicken god, wouldn't they come follow?
Yeah.
He's then obviously the superior. Well, his temple didn't get burned down.
I like where you're going.
Plan G. That is
Yeah.
Plan G. That is Plan G.
We could also end up accidentally starting a turf war.
I'm all for turf wars.
Again, Plan G. Let's try the other plans first. Let's try not to result in a burning of the temples, please.
If there, I start to look around to see. Oh, sorry. I just kind of look around to see if there's any like patrons look well off that are entering the temple.
The majority of the like the people entering, the patrons that go to the temple, they all seem very well dressed. It's clear like this temple was here before y'all got here. It seems that it's been established for a long time. And the one thing you all do know is that the chicken god never actually comes to the temple in the way Lord Quacker's does. You do know that the chicken god seems to be much more haughty, I suppose is the term. He's not personable. He's a very much a figurehead that people go to and
Is
think.
he cooped up?
Nice.
Everyone take 1d6 psychic damage for that. That was
Rude.
Joke's on you. I rolled a 1.
Damn it, I took 3 damage.
Oh.
And do you run
4.
6?
I want to pickpocket one of the patrons.
All right.
And while she does that, I would like to stand not like directly in front of the temple, but kind of like I'm close by and sing a worship song to Lord Quacker's. And playing
I
my
rolled a 17.
whatever, and I think I have a lyre. Yeah.
Perfect. And that was a sleight of hand check, correct?
17.
Perfect. They don't notice. And so you're able to snag, about 38 gold pieces. So it's pretty good. Pretty good. That's all they really had on them. That was it's just basically a coin purse. So, but yeah, very well to do, the majority of them. Now, Lyra, I'm gonna need to hear how that worship song to Lord Quacker's goes.
You're gonna ask? I don't know. She's making this up on the spot.
Yeah, that's perfect. You're having to make it up on the spot too. It's perfect.
Duck walked up to the lemonade stand and he said,
No, it's the good berry stand.
Duck walked up to the good berry stand and he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, bum, 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 got any crumbs?"
While this is going on, Skud is holding up the pictures of the very badly drawn toast and jam, bread and jam, and dancing along with it.
Y'all are getting some very strange looks. Most of the people are giving y'all a wide berth to make sure they don't get too close. It's just most people are very concerned. But you're ignored for the most part.
We really gotta workshop this song.
Yeah, we do.
He is Lord. Duck is Lord. Duck is Lord. Lord. He is Lord.
Oh,
But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
I'm trying to think of what rhymes with quackers, and all I can come up with is crackers.
Slackers.
Snackers.
Smackers. Slackers. You said that.
Factor.
You could do the chicken god and his worshippers by calling them slackers.
Ooh.
If he ever shows up, you could call him a slacker.
Chicken god is slack-a-lackin'.
Well, after some time, it clears up. If most of the people have gone in, it's almost like as if there's a service or something going on. So there's not as many people outside of the temple anymore, except for general passerbys. So what do y'all do?
I guess we keep
Towards the
moving.
center.
Yeah, let's keep on going to the tavern. See.
Perfect.
Gleam.
All right, sweet. So, as y'all are walking, I suppose you're all together. So everyone, give me a perception check.
Critical fail.
12.
And
15.
23.
A dirty 20.
All right. Well, Tyler, you're still thinking about bread. You're kind of regretting not bringing one of the loaves with you right now.
I am. I really regret leaving all of the bread behind. I feel like I should have had at least one. I mean, you never know when Lord Quackers could arrive and need bread.
Skud pulls out like this piece that's like this big that he's been chewing on this entire time and hands it to you.
I'll carry that.
Are you just carrying it? I'm going to reach over and take it out of your hand and eat it.
Are you gonna try and contest that, Tyler?
That was for Lord Quackers.
Yeah, he's back at the temple with all of the rest of the bread.
Well, if he comes to where we are and we are without bread, you will be the one explaining why we don't have bread.
I will explain to him that it's back at the temple where it belongs. Safe.
But see,
Well,
Dolf does this really cool thing and makes it appear.
Wait, what were we supposed to be perceiving?
I mean, to be fair, enough of you, one of you passed it, so you forget. It was who was? Yeah,
Sure.
okay. I know. Yeah.
Me and
So
Storm.
it was Storm, Dolf, and Iz. You all passed. So you all hear a couple of people they're just kind of talking, but it just something picture your ears like, yeah, the it's just this these two friends. They're just walking and talking, and as they walk by, they just say, yeah, the blacksmith shop was robbed. You know, the one that he makes all those fun swords and stuff for the royal family. Yeah, his shop was robbed. Apparently, some big thing was stolen. And they continue, and that's all you really hear as they walk past.
Interesting.
Storm's gonna
It wasn't me.
casually walk. Yeah, Storm's gonna casually walk up to those two people and
With Skud on her back.
say,
As casually as a centaur with a goblin can.
super casual. Just chill. But she's going to go up to them and say, I'm sorry, but I couldn't help but overhear. Which blacksmith is it that got robbed?
I suppose you haven't heard about it. It is good old Joffrey blacksmith shop. His last name is Blacksmith. Yes, he's one of the more well-known blacksmiths in the area. Yeah, Joffrey Blacksmith with his blacksmith shop. Yes. Surely you've heard about it. He makes all the fine armor and weapons for the royal family. And in fact, you have all heard the name before, but you did not make a connection that the last name was Blacksmith. You just thought there was a blacksmith shop called Joffrey Blacksmith. But the actual name of the shop is Gold and Silver Fineries. Like, it's just a very basic name. That's the actual name of the blacksmith shop that he runs. So you have heard the name, but you don't know much.
Joffrey's the one that owns Gold and Silver Finders, correct?
Yeah. So you have heard of him.
Vaguely, yes. When did this robbery occur?
Oh, it happened just last night. Apparently they didn't take much. They just were. They took one thing. I didn't hear much. Really, the guards know more. I just heard them talking about it in the square. So you might be able to get more information there, perhaps.
Thank you. Storm's going to walk back to the rest of the group and relay said information about Joffrey and his robbery.
Perfect.
Okay. So,
Sounds like
great opportunity.
Yeah.
This is a great opportunity. Get in with Joffrey, get in with the Royals. So, what I suggest, 2-part plan. Very distinct, very attacking 2 parts. One part, go to Joffrey, offer our services. In return, get that connection with the royalty. Second prong, which could happen at the same time, the other people will get more information, either at the tavern or from the guards.
Ish just
Okay,
starts
I'm
walking
sure-
towards the square.
Oh.
This is like, I'm bored with this. Bye.
Let's go.
Good initiative is.
All right. So who's following Iz?
I'll accompany Iz to the square. Scud, are you staying on or are you hopping off?
I'm staying on. I'm going with.
I'm following
All right,
as
cool.
well.
So Storm and Scud.
Is the blacksmith in the square, or is it like where is the blacksmith's place?
You don't actually know where the blacksmith's shop is at. So you'll have to possibly ask around.
Cool.
So, yeah.
All right, so I'll.
Do you know where the shop is in particular, or should we all just head to the square until we figure that bit out?
Yeah, I was gonna walk along to the square and just ask a random person on the street, whoever I find first.
Guards. Who know things. And square. So square we go.
Perfect. All right. So you may all make your way to the square, and it's just your very basic cityscape. It's it's pretty good size. The old quarter. It's about I'd say about the size of 7 football fields, kind of stacked side by side. So it's fairly big. And there's lots of vendors about, and there's nothing too crazy. It just looks like a pretty normal day for the city. And so you see plenty of guards walking about. You see people, just doing business, lots of shops, a lot of taverns, just people going about their day.
I stop one of the guards. Excuse me, sir. Andor.
What do you need,
Lloyd.
citizen?
Well, we overheard that a shop was robbed, and we were wondering if we could ask for more information to assist.
No. We the royal guards got it all taken care of. Don't you worry. Besides, we would like about. I mean, we're good. Thank you. Go ahead.
We're very good at.
Oh, go ahead.
I said, I must insist, we're very good at covert operations and recovery.
Well, if you can find the location of the notorious bandit company that's been robbing the city, and all of the rich folk have been losing things lately. I don't think you can help.
The blacksmith's shop. We'll start there.
Go ahead and roll insight for me real quick.
13.
Okay, yeah. He seems like he's telling you everything he knows.
Does he know where the blacksmith shop is?
Oh, yes. Well, if you're looking for gold and silver fineries run by Joffrey Blacksmith, you have to, yes, let me show you. You have to go all the way over to the Copper Crest shop. Right here. It's next to the Baker's Court. This area of the city. So that's where he's
Can
located.
you long press on the map, maybe?
Oh, it's the Copper Crest right here. Can you see my mouse?
Oh, sorry, the stream wasn't working for me. So I was looking at Roll20.
Yeah, so it's right here. Number 5, yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
All right, thanks. And I start walking that direction.
All right. Who follows?
I follow.
Is you gotta tell us when you're going places. Is
Well, the guy said that way, so I'm going that way. Come on.
Storm hurries after Is.
I follow.
Perfect.
I think we're all following.
yeah.
All right, perfect. All right, so as you go through, you see you're getting closer to definitely more of the armory kind of side of the city. That's like there you see more barracks, you see a lot more soldiers, more guards. It definitely seems like the place that it's more for the law enforcement side of the city. So that's why some people call it. That's why it's more commonly referred to as Copper Crest, because that's where the coppers are at. Dumb jokes, but you see plenty of guards. And why don't you go ahead and give me one more perception check?
Go. Oh. It's only a 12 for me.
18.
27.
11.
22.
12.
All right. All right. So, I mean, the majority of you pass. So this is basically what you all hear. You see a couple soldiers, not guards, but specifically soldiers, talking to each other in kind of hushed tones, but you're able to kind of hear what they're saying. And you hear them say this. What's the bounty on their head now? Something like 500 gold or something? No. Then the next one speaks. No, it went up to 600 after they burgled the smithy shop last night. They stole that sword that was being made for the Duke's son, remember? Yeah. Okay. It was supposed to have some sort of magic or something, right? It was one of the rune crafters had gotten involved. I don't really like those guys much. And that's all you hear as you all continue to walk forward.
Perfect.
In my mind, I kind of speak to everyone like, "Did you hear that? That's exactly how much money we need."
What?
Nothing could be more perfect.
Takes care of rent real quick.
It's almost like divine providence.
Lord Quacker says in your
yes.
head, I always look after my children. And then it's gone.
Did we explain? Sorry, kind of out of character here. Did we explain to our Twitch audience that we all have telepathic warlock abilities? Is that public knowledge, or is that?
I believe I mentioned at the beginning, but for
Yeah, you mentioned it.
yeah, but to catch up for the stream, those who didn't hear that, they all are now patrons of Lord Quacker's, and as such, they have telepathic communication to each other from anywhere and anytime. So,
I think you mean Lord Quackers is our patron.
yes, thank you. That thing, other way around.
Yes, we've all become gods.
Yes. Lord Quackers is our single warlock.
Imagine idea warlock with 6 patrons.
All right.
Very confusing.
Yes. So, as you make your way towards the smithy shop, you after getting some basic directions, you find it, and it's a very elegant place. Very nice building with. It does actually have copper inlays that make this really beautiful design to the shop. It looks very sturdy. There's smoke billowing out of the chimney, and it seems that it's pretty busy right now, even considering it was robbed last night. There doesn't seem to be. There seems a few guards, but it doesn't seem to be that well protected at the moment. What do y'all do?
Can I try to just walk right in?
Yeah, it's open.
I walk right in.
What is the store dimensions? Can a, say, centaur-sized creature walk into this shop?
Yes, the front door is tall enough and wide enough that a centaur can walk through freely. This town is very accommodating as far as the varied size of creatures. So and you've seen a few other centaurs in this city before, so it's not uncommon for people of various sizes to walk through and be about their business in the city. It's a very open and welcoming city for all types.
We love it, except for those who like gluten. The storm goes inside.
I assume you all go inside to follow.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Inside there are about a couple dozen customers. They're looking at various pieces of armor and swords and just other weapons that are on shelves or in cases that are for sale. All of them are very expensive, as this is one of the best blacksmiths in the region. But you hear the sound of metal on metal, like a hammer, coming from the back, and you see a gnome covered in soot and dirt and come from the back, grab a hunk of metal from behind a counter, and then go back through the door to what you assume is where the actual smithing takes place.
Storm's gonna head back. Going in.
Uh-oh.
No.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, we lost our DM.
So sorry. Here we go. Okay, hang on. I have to reset now.
Uh-oh. Our world has become godless now.
Okay, perfect. All right. I just had to reset. I lost the stream. So now we can see faces. Perfect. All right. What was the last thing that was said?
Storm followed the gnome and poke her head into kind of the smithing area.
Okay. So you're just poking your head in. You're not like going all the way in.
Not right away. She's gonna like poke her head in and say, "Hello, Joffrey." And
So,
wait until
yeah. So when looking back, you see there's about 5 different people back there. Varied. You see the gnome man. You see an elven woman. You see a satyr man. You see a who else I have? You see a human man, and then you see a orc woman. They're all at different stones, and they're all at different furnaces, and they're all working on something right now. And you do not know which one is Joffrey.
okay.
So,
I just
but
poke my head and say, "Joffrey responds."
smart. So, they all kind of like look up and see someone that is clearly not an employee, poking their head in and saying hello to Joffrey. But the one that comes out, one that responds to the name more specifically, is the human man. He he stops what he's doing. He sets down his hammer as he was beating on some hunk of metal that has no form at the moment. He kind of wipes his hands and he says, can I help you? Normally people don't ask for me specifically unless... Are you some noble I have not heard about? I apologize if you are.
No, nothing of the sort. But we heard of your unfortunate incident last night, and we'd like to lend a hand. I've got some compatriots out in the main shop.
Unfortunate incident? What are you talking about? One moment.
Scud pops up and is like, the stuff that got stolen.
As soon as you all say something got stolen, the other 4 people back there like turn and look at Joffrey aghast, like, and a couple. The elven woman says, "What got stolen?"
No.
What?
She's mistaken. Nothing was stolen. It was an incident at the tavern. He lost in a game of cards, and he was cheated. So we're trying to help him regain the coin. Stolen from him.
Go ahead and make a deception check. See how this goes.
I just imagine all of us are just kind of like we're just sitting in like the waiting area, just chilling.
Yeah, like elevator music playing somewhere.
I'm like trying to look around Storm to try and peek into the room.
Yeah, they do believe you. That was good enough. So they all are like, and they all go back to working.
About that gambling that you unfortunately were swindled out of, shall we talk about that outside?
Yes, that would be excellent. Please come with me, and as well as your compatriots who are also here to help me get that money back. Follow.
Going to head back out of the smithy area and just say, "Come on, guys, I found him," and then follow wherever Joffrey is leading.
Perfect. So he takes you back through the smithy area, and you kind of go into an office. It's got a big old window that where you can see the smithy, but it's clearly like his office. And as soon as everyone walks through, he closes the door and he kind of like shuts the blinds on the window and says, "I haven't broken the news to my employees yet, about the stolen item. That was a good save. Thank you
Sorry
for
about that.
that. All right. How did you all hear about the incident?
Oh, everyone knows.
Rumblings in the town.
He kind of like
But
just.
perhaps you have to break the news to your employees if we take care of it quick enough.
I suppose. Well, I'll certainly do it today. But what are you offering to do? The guards have already looked into it. They know who stole it, but they have no idea how to find them.
Do you have like blueprints or something of the sword?
Of my shop?
No. Of the sword that was crafted.
Oh no. This sword is one of a kind. I crafted it over a period of months. It took me half a year just to make the basic hilt. It was a work of art. And on top of that, I enlisted the help of a rune crafter who came and poured multiple runes onto this sword to give it untold power. It was to be the celebratory gift of the Duke's son coming old enough that he would have his rite of passage, essentially. He was basically being proclaimed the next Duke of the city. So it was to be a celebratory thing.
No. Stolen from.
Runes make
I'm sorry, repeat that? I couldn't. Hard of hearing, I apologize.
What was his name, the man who came in to take care of the runes for you?
Oh, it was well, her name was Lady of the West, really, because that's the title. I don't quite understand the whole titles of those rune crafters. She didn't give me a name. I just sent a letter to the Rune Crafters Society, and they sent one of their own, and she poured the runes on, and as soon as she was done, she left.
Is there a way we can find her?
You'll have to write to the society.
Well, okay, you said the guards know who stole it.
Yes, that is correct.
Why have they done nothing to get it back?
Well, I suppose you might not have heard, but over the past few months, this bandit or cat burglar or band of thieves, really, they're not sure how many, but they always leave the same calling card whenever they steal, and they've been stealing from wealthy people all over the city for a period of months now. It's been about 3 months ish that they've been just stealing gold and all sorts of goods, but I didn't think they'd be able to get through the security system of my shop, especially not to get this sword. But it was very strange. They only took this sword. There's plenty of other things that have of great value in the shop. I'm sure you saw all of my handiwork out in the rest of the store. But
And it is very impressive, Joffrey, but the name of that group.
the what? I'm sorry.
What are the bandits called?
Oh, well, we've been taking to calling them the wealthy rippers because they rip all the wealth away. But we don't know who leads them or if it's just one person. But the guards have been trying to find them as long as they've been stealing things for months now, and without any luck.
And you said that they
My
leave a calling card?
Yes, it's quite literally it's a little card that says "haha, suck it." That's how we know it's them.
That's for sure.
It's the most immature, foolish thing I've seen. But,
Would you be able to describe? Can you describe the sword and if there's like a very unique magic that was casted onto it? Because I can see if it's within a certain range of here.
Well, unless you are...
Essentially, I want to cast Locate Object if I can.
Well, the magic that was put on it was none of my own. It's a strict rule by the Runecrafters Society that they cannot put runes on top of any other sort of magic that's already been used. So unless you're very familiar with runecrafting magic, it might be very difficult. But remind me what Locate Object does.
So essentially, it's describe or name an object that is familiar to you. You sense the direction of the object's location as long as that object is within 1,000 feet of me. If the object is in motion, I know the direction of its movement. It's either I need to have been able to see it up close within 30 feet at least once, or alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain kind of apparel, jewelry, furniture, tool, or weapon.
Okay. You are more than welcome to cast that if you would like. He describes it as it is a sword with a pure gold hilt and a silver blade. So it's a very elegant, very beautiful sword. Do you cast it?
Yes. I'm gonna go ahead and cast that spell.
Okay. So you cast it, and you get like some pings of things that are similar but are not what you're looking for, clearly. But you don't get any sort of feeling that it's within 1,000 feet of you by any stretch.
Okay.
Joffrey.
Yes.
It is of my personal opinion that gods tend to have to stay within certain rules and restrictions when investigating certain things. And what we can offer you is the ability to out those restrictions.
I'm listening. What are you willing to do?
Yes. Quite frankly, willing to do whatever it takes, at least personally. Bills to pay and patrons to worship. So whatever needs to be done, I don't have a problem doing. The only thing that we would ask in return is the bounty and perhaps a connection to the Duke and his family.
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
$17.
That seems fair. That seems like a very reasonable request. And certainly, I'm the one who posted the reward, and it is at 600 gold. I added the additional 100 on top of the 500 gold that was for this particular thief. And additionally, I have not published this yet to the guards or anyone else, but I am offering an additional 100 for the sword specifically, without regardless of the thief or the bandits or whatnot. I just want the sword back. So I'm offering an additional 100 on top of that 600, regardless of bringing back the thief or whatnot. I say we have a deal. And he holds out his hand for a handshake to kind of seal it.
And Storm extends her hand and shakes Joffrey's.
Perfect. Well, we have a deal then. I'm afraid I can't give you any more information about the thieves themselves, as The only people that know much about it is some of the gods, really, and good luck persuading them. You might be able to persuade a few to tell you more.
Could you possibly get us in contact with someone else that's been robbed by them?
I could.
Because I'm sure it benefits them too, if we can find their stuff as well.
Yeah, and can we look around, examine where the sword was taken from?
Well,
Maybe security measures.
Well, the security measures, I'll tell you this. No one can get in without me. Quite literally, you need my blood to even get into the shop when it's locked down. So it is... the only way they could have done it is by getting some of my blood, and I don't know how they did that. But the sword itself was kept under here, and he kind of turns around in his office, and he opens up this large chest that then opens up to another chest, that opens up to another chest, and he's having each chest he's got a different key that's set for this. And after this chest is opened about 8 different times, he pulls out the case that is empty. It's basically just a glass case that looks like it held a sword at one point. And it still has the letter, haha, suck it, inside.
Can I take the letter?
Certainly. And he opens it up and he hands you the letter.
I sniff it.
You sniff it?
I sniff it.
It smells like paper? Well, go ahead and give me an investigation check to see if you can really get the sense.
I'd like to investigate each of the different, really looking to see if maybe I can tell the locks had been picked, if maybe they somehow gained access to his keys without him knowing, if magic was used to open it, that kind of thing.
All right, go ahead and give me an investigation check then. And
I got a 16 on my sniff check.
okay. It smells like paper. It smells fresh. Like, it doesn't seem like it's an old parchment or anything, or the ink is old. The ink smells faintly of berries, as if it was not pure ink. So something more. Yes, that's what it smells like. Is berries.
Liz.
All right. What did
Nat
20? All right. It's not good berries. It's just like some more natural ones that would be growing out in the forest or something. But for your nat 20, you can tell right away that these locks were picked, along with some of the, like, each lock has got just that telltale sign of being picked. Additionally, you think that there's a possibility that the knock spell was used alongside the lock picking to get that extra oomph to really get each chest open. So yes, it was clear that whoever did this is very skilled and knew exactly what to do. It was thought through. This was planned, especially with somehow getting Joffrey's blood. They managed, like, however they did it, that you know that this is a very well thought out plan, very well executed plan.
I look very closely at Joffrey and I go, are you a religious man?
Well, sometimes depends on the year, really. Why do you ask?
I'm curious what temple you serve. Or your patronize, rather.
At the moment, I serve no god. I worship no god particular. I'm keeping my options open.
Joffrey, I've got a rather, suppose, intimate question for you. Where do you typically, I'm guessing, cut yourself in order to gain access to your shop? You a palm man, a thumb? Where are you accessing your own blood?
Well, for me particularly, I don't have to release it anywhere. I don't have to cut myself in that manner. It's just my mere presence as I touch the shop door, it opens up for me. And as long as I'm in the shop, it is open to anyone. But when the sword was stolen, I am not in the shop. But that is the one loophole to the spell that was used to keep my shop on lock and key, as it were. My blood is all that's required. So as long as some of my blood is in the shop, which I make sure to clean up perfectly. So I didn't leave any drops or anything in the shop when I left. It was good and locked down. So
Is it possible that you were here when the sword was stolen?
Not at all. I checked, and I checked before I left. The sword was in the chest, and everything was locked away.
Could the person who stole it have come in and waited for you to leave?
They would not have been able to leave until I got back the next morning.
Well, then they could have snuck out after you came in, right?
It would have been very difficult. But what were you saying? I'm sorry, Storm.
Have you perhaps noticed any cuts or anything that you are 100% confident that would have been caused by perhaps a flip of a hammer? And if so, we have a sleeper, are you?
I will admit I'm a very heavy sleeper, but I have not had any odd cuts or sort of bruises or anything that would have caused me to think my blood had been taken. But I suppose it is possible that somehow they snuck into my house and somehow got blood out of me.
Was blood needed for the spell?
It's more that my blood needs to be in proximity. It is more of a proximity sort of thing. As long as my blood is within the proximity of the shop is open to whomever.
No, to start the spell.
Oh,
when they first did the spell, was it needed for the casting?
Yes, it was needed for the casting, but that blood was promptly destroyed. At least that is what they told me.
And
who was there?
Well, it's the royal magician. As I am very, I don't like to toot my own horn, but I'm very apt at creating weapons and armor and such. The royal family comes to me often, and so they had their royal magician provide the sturdiest of spells to ensure that this kind of robbery would not happen. So unless the royal family themselves is having someone steal from me, I don't know how that blood could have gotten to anyone else.
Who else knew you were making the sword?
No, it was just me and my 4 assistants, as you saw out there.
Would you mind letting us? I know you haven't told your employees yet, so perhaps you could let us know once you do that, so we could ask them some questions. And in the meantime, we should consult with some of the other unfortunate victims of the wealthy rivers.
Yes, I will, I suppose, come back sometime later today. Perhaps around 3 o'clock. I will have provided information to my employees, and you may ask them questions. But in the meantime, the most recent victim, aside from myself, has been the owner of the fishing company here in town. You might know it. It's Curds and Carp is the name of the fishing company. I don't much care for the family that runs it. They tend to be they get involved in too many things for my taste. But should try talking to them. Their last name, their family name is Cop. Is there anything else I can? What was that?
Before we go, can I search? I'm looking on the floor specifically for, since I noticed that the ink smelled berries, I'm looking for dirt, maybe like something that would have fallen off of what the person was wearing, because I'm thinking that maybe they like been out in the woods somewhere.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Yeah. 13. That's not gonna do it, probably.
I mean, it's pretty.
Just kidding. That's a 10.
Oh, yeah. It's real dirty in here. It's very difficult to see. It just looks all dirty.
Well, in that case, we will return shortly after 3 o'clock to speak to you and your employees.
Very well. We'll be expecting. Again, thank you for your assistance. And I'll do my best to assist you, as I want this sword back as quickly as possible. But I suppose I should go ahead and inform my employees. So I'm after you. And he kind of motions towards the door.
Storm heads out.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, you all walk out, and as you're kind of leaving the smithy area of the shop, you can kind of see Joffrey kind of motioning for his employees to kind of come to him and his assistants. And as you're leaving the shop, you hear a very loud "What?" As you are quite clear that some his employees now know what happened. What do y'all do? It is.
Can I take a look at the employees as we're on our way out? Just like look at their like clothes, expressions, like what they're wearing.
Yeah, sure. Just give me a
Reaction. I want to see if anyone seems like they're faking surprise.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a give me an insight check.
Can I roll that?
23.
What was that?
23.
I was asking if I could roll that too, but she got a 23.
They all seem very genuinely surprised. None of them seem to be faking it. Some don't seem like super shocked. It seems like they kind of already figured out what was happening, that something had happened. But they didn't. It was clear that they did not expect that sword in particular to be the one to get stolen. So they all seem genuinely shocked.
Do we know where this next shop is?
You do know that the main fishing companies are by the harbor, which I'll pull that up for you. Hang on.
To the harbor we go.
And
I assume Coldport.
Or Westport? One of them.
Oh, yes, perfect. So it is in. It's going to be that one's in Coldport.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is
6
where
gold, please.
those the fishing company you're in question you're looking for is.
Cool.
Okay. So I guess Storm's heading that way.
Are the guards still outside?
There are some. They're kind of milling about. They're like watching people.
Okay, I want to ask if there's one that looks less menacing or like annoyed with whatever, then I want to walk up to him and
The most reliable guard.
and ask him, do you know anything about the Carp family?
The one in question, he's pretty young. He's a pretty young human. He is just kind of. He looks like he's kind of fresh on the force.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of taken aback. But he says, "Well, I know they're like the main fishing company here in town. They're very wealthy. They seem to be doing well for themselves. Clearly, I know. Well, on the down low, I know we're supposed to turn a bit of a blind eye to the going-ons that family has, but I feel as though that's fairly common knowledge amongst the town."
Okay. What do you mean they're going on?
Oh, you don't know?
We're fairly new, and
I don't-
we're servants of Lord Quackers. I don't know if you've heard of the great waterfowl king god that all should worship and give their gold to. And we just felt like his message of peace and goodness and kindness should be spread. And the Carp family seemed like a good place to start because obviously they need the good word. But I don't know if there's the specifics. So.
Well, I've not heard of this Lord Quackers, the god duck. What I don't know, but I don't think I should tell you. I don't know if I should tell you about what their goings on. If you don't know already, then I don't think I should be the one to tell you.
Well, surely, I mean, if everyone knows, then, and we're just trying to make them better people.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay, this is a plus 10, so this.
What?
24.
Gosh. Okay.
Hey, we're a very charismatic group. All right.
So, all right. How? All right. Yeah. So he's after you've said that, he seems out of just the kindness of your heart. He seems very moved.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be twirling my finger on my horn,
So yeah, he seems very moved and a little flustered, but he does say, "Well, they have a bit of a problem with gambling on the races, and the races themselves are highly illegal. But as they are one of the main ways that money is brought into the city, the gods have been told to turn a blind eye to it. So the races are what they're really in about. I know one of their youngest children. I believe she's actually one of the racers, and she's fairly good from what I've heard. But that's all I can tell you."
Wait. The races. What kind of race?
Oh, you don't know about the race? Ah, I'm just spilling all the beans today. Well, there are some chariot races. They happen, about twice a month. They're held deep into the woods outside of the city, quite a ways. But the actual Colosseum, really, that they're held in is quite large. Not that I've ever been there myself, but
of course not.
Of course, thank you. Yes, thank you for believing me. But it's very impressive from what I've heard, and lots of money to be had for the winners of said races.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
In her head, kind of said to her, after who's telling the guard to turn a blind eye to all of these things?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the commander of the guards is the one who tells us, but I believe he is told directly by the Duke.
So is the Duke involved in the races as well?
To be honest, I would not be surprised.
Interesting. And so has anyone else been stolen from that could be tied back to this chariot racing?
Well, no, I don't know about. If you're talking about the string of robberies, I mean, I don't know who attends these races, other than I know for a fact the Cobb family is one of the most well-known proprietors of the races. So I wouldn't know. I couldn't tell you.
Who could?
Well, I don't know if you could convince the Cobb family to tell you, but they might. They might be. They would have the information you seek.
Well, thank you for sharing.
You're very welcome. He seems very flustered.
Okay, well, I walk away.
All right.
Well, hold your horses and pull in your reins. We're going racing, folks.
Oh man.
Scud is 100% in.
Looking at particularly at Dolf, I am not pulling a cart. Don't get any ideas.
But it would be so good.
I'd consider it, but it would take a lot of convincing.
What if we put we make a mask for you and put it on top of you, and no one will know what you are? A centaur, secretly.
The storm kind of looks down at her human body and also looking at
No, big. You do body paint, all the whole 9 yards.
We'll see if it comes to that, but I'm not a fan of the concept of racing in an illegal chariot race as a horse.
Plan E.
Plan Z.
No, it needs to go before the burning of the chapel.
I want the chapel much more than running as a horse.
Well, at least we have,
We'll
we
take
have a connection between the Cart family and the Duke, and this. It seems to all be tied up in this chariot racing. I mean, that's something that all of them were connected to.
Sounds like we need to find out when the next race is and enter ourselves.
I don't know if we need to enter. I think we just need to be there.
Oh, why
I
not?
mean, we can also get money, though.
Well, we don't have to enter to win the gold, right? We just bet on the winner, right?
But to bet,
The
we
6
need
gold
money.
we have.
Yeah, to bet we also need money. So I guess if we win it, we also get money, though.
How about we just go talk to the Cart family
I
first?
mean, yes, we could talk to...
I think that's a really good idea. Let's go talk to the family and stop talking about me entering in as a horse.
No one said that you had to enter. Well, Dolf did. But that's not right.
Storm brought it up. I pull Scud aside and like we're gonna enter this race at some point. Don't worry, we're gonna with or without Storm.
We'll find a horse.
We'll find a horse.
I whispered to them, Tyler's an option.
We can also get Tyler.
I'm just standing there excitedly like, I like all of these plans.
Wait, do we still have the horses from originally? Like when we did the whole trek? Don't we have horses from that?
I'm sure those are in the town that we left the family in 4 months ago.
Yeah, those horses they were all you had them, but you ended up having to sell them to pay for last
You
month's
are
rent.
muted.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Pardon. I'm great at this technology. Gosh. So you did have the horses, but last month you sold them to pay for last month's rent.
Yes.
Of course we did. Of course we did.
Yeah.
So.
So I, Luke, my connection has been not super great. So unfortunately, I've been missing bits and pieces along the way. And so partially though, I was also not fully aware whether or not I was in the room for that whole conversation. But I'm going to say that Tyler remained in the lobby, did not follow. And he's had like a childlike attention span all day, and he's been just following around with you guys, but he's really kind of just kind of following around and kind of bummed about the bread situation still. He feels like he's kind of lost his purpose, but he's still kind of going along. But yeah, his ears perked up when you guys start talking about a race. That sounded interesting.
He's like,
so
Scud, watch this, Scud. Hey, Tyler.
Yeah.
How cool in your heroic story would it be if you won chariot races?
That'd be cool. Yes. Sorry, I forgot the time sound. Yes, that sounds amazing. I would love to win a chariot.
The chariots can be
See,
pulled by
Tyler's on board.
Yes, what?
I don't think the chariots can be pulled by bears though, so we'll have to come up with another plan.
Tyler, the joke goes over Tyler's head.
And see, if it was being pulled by a bear, he would just kill the bear, and then he would
But they lose unless we bet on him losing.
Oh, I wouldn't lose.
Well,
I told Dolf that, and I'm like, does he realize he's pulling the chariot, not riding?
Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm going to the races.
No, not yet. We're thinking about it, Tyler. We're thinking about it.
My vote is in. My vote is yes, races. Yes, rankings. Yes, champions. And fame throughout the land. For Quacker!
This whole conversation is very. We give our younger brother the controller, but not actually plug it in.
how's your fishing? Are you good at fishing?
Me?
Yes.
I mean, I've been known to shoot a fish right out of the water with my bow. It's quite impressive. I'm not bad at all.
How about you work on that skill? Because we're going to the water, and you can work on that while we make some plans. Catch our food for us.
Yes, I can hunt for sure.
Storm's going to pull Tyler aside after that little conversation happened and say, "Want to make a bet?"
I don't have any money.
No, not money. Responsibility. I'm sorry, somebody decided to put something.
Go on.
Okay. If I win, you have to do all of my temple chores for the next month.
If you win what?
It's just a shooting competition. Whoever can spear or arrow the most fish within a certain period.
And if I win?
Then I will take on the noble bread holding duty for a month.
Excellent. You have yourself a bet.
Very well, Tyler. Very well. Storm's headed towards the water.
Alright, so I need to clarify. Are y'all taking a detour to go have a bow and arrow or spear fishing competition, or are y'all headed to the carp, the curd and carp company first? Which one's happening first?
I'm going to the crown part.
Yeah, I think we should do the actual thing first, and then we'll do the fishing competition.
I'm with that.
Perfect. Alright. So,
Tyler's cluelessly following.
All right, so you all travel a ways, and it takes you a while to get there. I mean, it's basically walking across the city, and you make it to the fishing docks where Curd and Carp Company, their boats come back to the city, and so you all just see fishermen going about. You see sailors. You see a variety of people, but you do see kind of like a welcome center. It looks like an informational kind of place for what the company that is Curd and Carp. So you just see it's not neon signs, but it's painted to look like neon signs. It just says Curd and Carp Fishing Company Welcome Center with a big arrow pointing down to a door. So what do you do?
I'm assuming that if it's a welcome center, we're not going to find the people we actually want to talk to in the welcome center. Is there anything that looks like it's like a more official office space?
Give me a perception roll.
Okay. That is a 22.
All right. You see a few people who seem to be more official. They're wearing, they have some basically like what looks like name tags that kind of give like manager or officer of just over of the rest of the fishermen, and they seem to be heading towards a separate building that looks like it holds offices and more records and looks more official.
Okay.
Less welcome centery.
Okay, so I'm gonna head towards that building.
All right. Who is following?
Assuming that she saw something that Storm did.
Yeah, I'll telepathically tell everybody. I think this is probably more where we need to be. The other place looks like a tourist trap.
I walk confidently.
All right. So, does everyone follow Lyra then?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. All right. So you head over to the building.
But I am still getting used to this telepathic thing. Every time it happens, I'm still a little confused as to where the voices come from. But I just kind of like silently continue to follow the group because that's what I've been doing.
For 4 months?
As much as I look
Oh my god.
Skud just follows behind or just rides on. But understands that everybody's voice is in my head.
The reason why I hold the bed all the time is because I'm really confused about the whole situation over the last 4 months. And it's a job I know how to do, and so that's why I stand around and hold it most of the time.
So Tyler really only has 2 modes in life: killing animals or holding bread.
Being very direct.
I get easily confused.
And being famous. But not
Being famous or
Oh.
When was Tyler born?
Are you asking how old he is?
No, just give me a year.
I mean, I don't know what yet this world is offering.
No.
I don't know what you is now.
It's the year 1058. That's the year it is. 1058.
Okay, well, subtract 25 from that. $1,058.
1033.
10,023.
He's
23 only know how to kill bear and hold blood.
Wait, if it's 58 now and he's 25, it would be 33.
33, yeah, 33, yeah.
After 33, only know how to kill bear and hold blood.
but not know how to do basic math. We're all struggling with that.
Don't be fooled by the math rocks. We don't actually know how to do math.
That's what we have calculators for, right?
I'm not gonna lie, I literally opened my calculator out on my phone.
Yeah.
I did too.
It is, man. It's necessary. Oh gosh, I'm crying, I'm laughing so much.
On that note.
So, gosh, whew. Yeah, y'all walk towards this building that looks much more official, but you are stopped before you make it to the door by two guards, and they both are just they'll say, "Oh, hold! What business do you have in the offices of Curd and Cup?"
Hi, yeah. So we are within the investigation with the wealthy rippers, and we were sent here by Joffrey to just get some more information on whether or not on the robbery that the Cards had.
Is Joffrey blacksmith the captain of the guard? No, he has no jurisdiction here. You must, if you have business, schedule an appointment. Please be on
have an
board.
appointment.
You have an appointment?
Yeah, we have an appointment.
All right. He pulls out a small notepad. He says,
I kind of
"What's the name?"
lean in to kind of look over it.
He's like 5'10". He's like average height.
Cool. Start down and say the first name she sees because she's 6'10" and can see over him.
Okay. So you look down, and the first name you see, just right off the bat, is the name of Kazel.
That's me. Kazel.
Are you saying you don't know who he is? This is Kazel. He should be the first one on your list. He's very important business.
It should say Kazel the Great. If it doesn't say Kazel the Great, you'll be very offended.
You are Madam Kazel?
Yes.
Oh.
Do you have a problem with that?
Oh no. You shouldn't have said that, sir.
You step aside.
Go ahead and roll intimidation. Pretty much, y'all can all roll intimidation. This will just be a group check.
I believe that is a 23.
Dirty 20 for me.
All right.
14 for Tyler.
You just see a goblin with a knife. You're just like,
All right. Both of the guards are thoroughly intimidated. And they say, "We are so sorry, Kazel the Great. Please go on in." Yes, Kazel the Great.
Madam.
And Madam Kazel the Great. Yes, so sorry. Please go on in. And they step aside and they open the door for you. Lord Carp is waiting for you in his office.
As we walk by, Skud growls at him.
He kind of jumps back a little bit. So you walk in, and it's like it's a series of offices. Like you see what would be the fantasy version of like, cubbies, and like various like desks and whatnot with lots of papers stacked high. And you see kind of towards the back of the room, you see a large sign that just says "Carp" over a double door. So, what do y'all do?
I walk confidently like I know where I'm going.
All right.
Storm's gonna walk towards the sign that says
Perfect. So you all walk towards this sign that says "Carp." As you come to the door, you open it up, and inside is where we'll pick up next time.
oh, no!
So next time we'll pick up with y'all meeting Lord Carp.
Yes. Those guards need to be more understanding. Jeez. Assuming.
Assuming one's jail. If you fail to intimidate, I had charm person loaded.
Perfect.
I also had command, so.
I could have done disguise self and like walked down and walked back in as like a different person.
Oh, I love it.
You would have clearly confused God.
We would have gotten in some way or another.
Some way.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
Stream, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll be announcing the next time we're up and running sometime next month, sometime soon. We'll figure it out. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Hope you all have a wonderful night, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.